We are very excited for the weekend ahead, but first things first, we have to get through this Thursday. Elisa Blow and Jeff Bratz with you here on the set of Woodbine Racing Live, where rain moved in, I would say, around 11:30-ish, 12-ish here. Yeah, and I looked out and I said, I'm not liking the looks of this. No. Now, the good news is we only had one turf race scheduled for today. Yeah. So usually, we'll have like 3 or 4 races on the grass, but that's not the case for tonight.
The other big thing, too, is it's confusing. Like, we start off in the afternoon and then we end in the night. That would really confuse Randy Waples. The other thing, too, is, can you believe this temperature? Like, Sunday, it was 103 in the shade. Today, it's 67. What's going on?
Yeah, big difference. And you know what? That's the thing for horses that's tough. The roller coaster ride that we constantly do.
But this is some relief for them.
It is a big time for sure. And we're looking forward to the Canadian Day Racing Festival. It's not on Canada Day itself because Canada Day will take place on a Tuesday. And you know what's so intriguing about this is the number of Canadian champions that are racing on the program. Dresden Rowe, Caitlin Her Greatness, Patches O'Houlihan, My Boy Prince.
Fashionably Fab.
Fashionably Fab, that's 5. Yeah, I forgot about Fashionably Fab.
I know.
That's 5, yeah.
5, one for each stake race.
Yeah, crazy,
it's a busy day.
So which of these races are you looking forward to the most?
The last one. So where Caitlin is. Yeah, is that the Nassau? Yeah, I mean, because they're not in order there. But certainly I want to see Caitlin back on the grass. I think that's going to be fun. It's just a busy day all around because we also give out the Gomez Award on Saturday as well.
Yeah, Paul Suter will be getting that. He won the Queen's Plate with Son of Bray Arctic, I believe it was.
Fun guy, great guy.
And he's an agent now. Yeah, it's got a lot of great stories.
Super funny guy.
So we'll have that for you coming up as well. We're going to be really busy on Saturday. 10 races. And what's really cool is the last 4 is an all-stake pick 4. You know what? We're going to play the late pick 4.
We're
late pick 4 on Saturday.
I think we got a key in the last 2, don't you?
Maybe. Do you keep Patches?
I
don't
know.
Do you think Prince can beat him?
See, here's the thing.
And time.
They're calling for some rotten weather tomorrow, too.
True.
And we got to do these graded races on the grass. It means we could have potentially a turf course with some give to it as well, right? I mean, it was nice and firm for the last little while, but they are calling for some pretty severe weather tomorrow night with some bad wind as well.
You know what I like on the card is Essex Serpent.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting.
We'll see if he can come back with another good race.
And then there's the American Shippers that you really have to respect as well.
And I'm glad that you pointed out because Blessed War Cross entered a horse down at Lone Star. Marcus Hirsch of the Racing Forum on X said that the horse is coming here.
Is he? Good. Because I actually have him up on top. I mean, I'm kind of excited to see him. He's got tons and tons of breaks in his career, right? But he always comes in like fresh and ready to go. You look in the past, too. Like, he's taken 6 months off and come back to go a mile and an eighth, no problem, and win it. He's been in grade 1s. He's been against some really good horses.
And nice to see Victor Espinosa up here too.
Yeah, we're going to have some American riders here as well. So it's going to be a great day.
Now, as we go down and look ahead on our path here and to our crystal ball, is today the day for one Isaac Leo?
Oh boy!
As we kick off the clock. This is the shot clock, as we like to call it here. It is worth a look time, and we're going to dissect a bunch of different races in here. You have 90 seconds to tell me why today is the day for Isaac Leo.
Well, I mean, I looked at this race forwards and backwards and sideways, and I was like, how do I beat this horse? Now, the reference that I like, obviously, is Indy 1.
Massive.
I think now that we know that Indy 1 is the real deal, smoked him in his last race for $25,000 and came right back to win a 25 non-winners of 2 quite easily, it makes Isaac Leo look a bit better. He is a big kind of gangly going horse. It takes him a while to get motoring, and when you see those big horses, we've talked about this before, when you see those big horses, you're like, is he built to be a sprinter? But he seems to be okay at it. I will tell you the horse that might be the fly in the ointment, though, and that's Switchin' to Glide, the first-time starter that Hall of Famer Bob Tiller sends out. This mare is very good. She's had 6 foals, 4 of them are winners, and look at the siblings on this horse. Now they're winners, and they had their heyday. Now they're all kind of down at Fort Erie. But Fascination Street, a 3-time winner, Bridge to Nowhere, a 3-time winner. The horse has been, the mare, she won the Rainbow Connection and the Belade. So there's enough there there that this could be the spoiler.
Yeah, she was a lovely mare for these connections. I like Red Pharaoh a little bit. Was 15-1 on the line, all the way down to 7-2 right now. This jockey-trainer combo teamed up for a win just the other day. And look at the work's coming over in here. And the horse actually took a little bit of money first time out as well.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be the wise guy. I admit it. You know, I thought after 3 days off, we could have our first fight of the week right off the bat in race number 1. So we'll pick different horses.
I'm glad you're doing it, though, because really, like, he is vulnerable, that's for sure. But who knows? Cassie had such a great day Sunday that maybe this
But
is
it does on paper seem as if it's going to be that horse's day. It reminds me a little bit of the Scott Fairley horse the day that finally won. That survived the inquiry and finally got the W, right? So let's talk a little pick 5 now. The pool's going to be guaranteed here today at $50,000. First time gelding for the number 2, that being Westmore. Again, it's Gaskin and conditioner Sotard. We've got, we haven't seen a lot of Gail Hughes horses, but she's got Demba in this spot. And we've got the 7 of Patrick Dixon, first time starter. A bit of a cool story with Wahila. The horse is owned by Cassandra Jeske. She is the assistant to Pat, and she rides quarter horses on her days off.
Oh, cool. And this one wasn't a very expensive purchase
they're just
either.
gonna have some fun.
Yeah, they're having a little bit of fun. First foal from this mare, but she was a 2-time winner, and she actually won her very first lifetime start in a maiden special weight at Delta going 7/8 of a mile. And then I think she came back and won a allowance right again, and then the wheels started to fall off a little bit. But yeah, we'll be watching for her. I used the 3, Glinton Daddy's Eye. Yeah, the drop help last start out. We're going to show you that too. So this is back on May the 30th, and you'll see the horse kind of placed mid-pack here for the Carlo D'Amato Silks. And the winner, Tiger Town, was the Liz Charlambas horse that everybody was all over, and this horse was just simply best of the rest. But started to close at 6.5 furlongs quite well when dropped in from $40,000 to $15,000. Leo Salas was picking up the ride again. You know, Leo, we talked about this quite a bit. Leo can get these inexpensive horses to run. He gets a lot of run out of them. He tends to win a lot of the races early on the program because early in the card is when we put the lower end claimers. But look at the effort that we get from this horse here with Leo going to town with the left whip and the right whip. So switching sticks there and gets a good late run out of the horse. Gallops out in front as well in that event. So I got to go this way.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I don't love the fact the horse is 0 for 10, but I do love the last race.
Yeah.
This could be 4-star of the campaign with that one. I'll use the 2 just to kind of spice up my exacta tickets in here. And you're going to use the number 9, that being Last Ride, who gets into a way easier spot here today.
Way easier. And you want to talk about way easier, you can talk about Demba as well for Gail Hughes because, you know, last year this horse was racing against Dryden, North Warden, Fracamacco, who at that time was pretty live, and even Hanlon, who's been very, very good, and we'll see that horse on the card today.
I like the fact they're taking advantage of the waiver claim too, so you know, essentially get a free run. Don't have to worry about the horse getting claimed, and if it doesn't work out today, then you can try to go into a bit of an easier spot. Race 2 will start off at pick 5. We're going to go 6.5 there, and of course that does wrap up the double as well. We'll guarantee the pick 5 pool here at $50,000.
Look at you. Boom. Right on the money.
Hey! Okay, exactas. Obviously, a very popular bet is the exactas. Are you a boxer? Do you
I'm a boxer.
You're a boxer? And actually, true story about one Elisa Blow. She does actually really like the sport of boxing.
I do. I love it.
Yes.
I love it. Not so much into the, you know, the mixed martial arts, the MMA, but boy, oh boy, do I ever like boxing. And one winter, I was actually working down south at Mountaineer. And it was a very long winter at Mountaineer, but you know what was always entertaining? They had fights every Saturday night.
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, so I was at the fights every Saturday. Lots of fun.
I'll tell you a story about boxing after you dissect this 5th race
You
for us
weren't a
in here.
boxer, were you,
No,
Jeff?
but I do have a funny story about it. So 5th race going 5.5, 15,000 claimers. Boy, Cassie dropped one the other day that didn't run a jump, and he's got real thirsty in here, dropped in for 15 as well. But you're going to go towards Proud Mischief, and maybe this is the start of a good week for Lauren Richards.
I hope so. You know, we always like to play the Lauren Richards barn, and, you know, the Cassie dropper is a bit of a concern, dropping from 25 into 15, but this horse has been in against much, much tougher in the past. But again, I think Cassie's just cleaning house, right? They're hoping that maybe somebody takes this one, moves on to a different outfit because they have so many live horses. Like, look at the day they had on Sunday, right? Like they won 5 races, and they weren't cheap races. They were all big races on the program. Now, Proud Mischief makes the second start off of the layoff, and I think both you and I thought in that comeback race on June the 7th that she might need one, and maybe she did. Now, Ondine Lady was a surprise winner that day because we think, or I've always thought, that Ondine Lady might be better on the grass, and Devin Gittins training that horse got her to win quite easily in a maiden non-winners of 2. They used the waiver, now they're back here today. I think Holiday Rose is another horse you might want to take a look at. You put that horse in the top spot. Kind of bucked the trend for the previous Buttigieg horses, now the Rick Hayashi barn, of winning first start out, because we normally don't play this barn at first start out.
Got a great ride courtesy of Deshaun Bino as well. So quickly, here's my boxing story. So to get into TV, you often have to do a lot of like volunteer work.
Yes.
So I was a cable puller for a boxing match, and I was a camera right like in one of the corners, like the most disgusting corner ever, because like people are like spits flying, sweats flying. I'm like, I had like 50 showers by the time I left there.
Oh man, see, I only had to work the Santa Claus parade.
Yeah. Well, you had the better gig.
I think I was the commentator too.
Yeah,
so it was pretty easy.
But man, they do hit hard. Like holy smokes!
Oh yeah, it's the real deal.
Okay, topic 4 says feature, which means we're going to talk about our feature race of the day, which will go as race number 6 on the card. Now, unfortunately, we do lose the surface in here, and I was really looking forward to seeing Weller Green because that horse was the first time going. The barn's just starting to heat up as well, and Power is now out. Now, English Actor, this horse is just dying to get onto the turf because the mare has dropped 3 turf winners in here. What do you make of the fact the horse lost last time out? It's like got to the front and then got past. Do you think it was maybe an experience that cost him?
That was that Maxa Breeze that beat him on that day. Now, here's the other thing. Did this horse go down south with Rachel, or did this horse stay up here at the farm and get ready? Because you can see that the horse was previously trained by Elaine Gilliforti. Now, he's the farm trainer, and then last year, I think he had some stalls here, and he was able to race a few horses. Not a ton, but he had some stalls. So now the horse moves in to the Rachel Halden outfit. I gotta almost assume that the horse was here over the winter months. They have a great facility to get horses ready up at Chiefswood. But I'm gonna use the 8, and I think we're okay with the surface switch now that we're onto the main track. I know that they're dying for turf. I agree with you there. But I think they'll do fine on this one here today. The 7, Rito Hall, is the other likely player from the Stu Simon barn. If things go well, Stu could have a pretty good day today because he's got a couple of horses on the program that are setting up. And one thing I think that we've noticed is the Stu Simon horses are needing one. The second start, they seem to be striking.
Yeah, the only one that won off the bench was Twin City, right?
Right, but then the other ones have improved second start out. But yeah, Twin City, in my opinion, got I don't want to say lucky, but benefited from the weather that day because it was a really cool day. And I don't really think he's a hot weather type of horse. And we saw him racing in that heat on Sunday.
He's like us.
Yeah, well,
we struggled.
It wasn't easy. And we're just talking for a living.
And I'm on a 16th there. Race 7, we'll start off the late double in here, and let's touch on this now, going 6.5. So super success. I think the Paul had this horse very early on in his career, and I think Joey really likes the horse because he keeps claiming the horse back.
I know.
And they're kind of in a really nice spot here today. Now the question mark is, what do we do with the 5, Principa Carlo? This is the synthetic horse who's got $648,000 in his bank card and has never run on the synthetic. Start number 50 will be his first on this surface.
You know what? I left him off today, Jeff, because I want to see what he does on the synthetic surface, because if you look at the works for him, they've pretty much been, well, there's only 4 works that we've seen. 2 are on the main track and 2 are on the training track, which is a dirt surface. Plus, no offense, but we haven't seen a lot of these Oaklawn horses come up and do big things. So I think it's Super Success's time to shine. This is kind of a cool horse too, because there's been a few times that we've seen recently where he's got himself into a little bit of a jackpot, and his professionalism shines through. Like, he's all class. I wonder if he gets claimed here today by Drexler again, because it seems to be like a running joke. He goes back and forth and back and forth.
Claiming that's risky.
But then the other thing is you got to figure Joey's going to take him back, right? Yeah. So is it really that risky?
Yeah, true.
I use Hanlon on top because I get it that this horse is facing wide open for the first time, but this one's had a great season. 2 in a row so far this year, 3 in a row if you count back to last year, and I like what they're doing. They won the non-3 for a quarter. They're facing wide open for 15.
Yep.
Not getting crazy.
Listen, he's made his year already. Whatever he does at this point is an absolute bonus. For a small field, it's not bad. You got Jamista in there. You've got Heat Merchant, who's coming off a bit of a disappointing race as well. 7th will start off the late double. What are we doing next? Let's talk
there's
about
only one
maybe
more.
the first win of somebody's career here coming up in the nightcap. Let's touch on this a little bit here. Now, I am going price play shopping in the 8th race. What about you?
I went to Scat Humor, and originally I wanted to go to Hyper Holiday, and then I went back and I watched the replay, and I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to switch things around and use Scat Humor in the top spot. Something that kind of caught my eye too is this Houlihan, we know, always takes money, right? And then we haven't really, we saw a better effort last start out. But Campos looks like he might have had some choices, and he goes to the 6 Scat Humor, which is kind of talking to me. Here's the replay from the last start out. Now, this is the first start back on May the 16th, so we've had an awful lot of time in between to recover. The horses come back to work off a half in 49. Keith Edwards, I know the barn hasn't had a win yet this season, but this is not a bad trip for the first start back of the season. You've got to figure that this one's a little fitter, a little tougher here today. I personally am like, that's interesting that Campos opts to go to the 6 over the 8. So I'm thinking maybe he's trying to tell us something, and it's not a bad race. Only beaten a couple lengths. Like really, if we had another half a furlong to go, it's possible that filly might have been on top. She gallops out really strong in this replay as well. Hyper Holiday is the other horse that's a little concerning, but the starts are really beginning to add up. We're at the 16th lifetime start. And you're using a horse at a price, Easter Sunday Girl.
Yeah, I just think 7/8 might help her out a little bit in here. I kind of like the way she ran last time out. She just got a little bit tired late despite a wide trip. The rail, I hate playing the rail going 7 furlongs, but there's a lot of favorites tonight that I just don't like, I'm just trying to beat them, so we'll put Easter Sunday Girl on top. I could easily go home today 0 for 8 because I am kind of swinging for the fences. But
what is it with these Thursday and Friday cards? Like on paper, when you handicap it, you go, easy, easy, and then we can't get a winner.
You know why? Because inexpensive horses don't run to form. That's the problem.
And they're hit and miss. They're
very, very
spotty.
hit or miss.
They just can't have a headache today.
I mean, good horses are good horses because they're talented, but they're also consistent.
Exactly.
That goes for a lot. So, plays of the day. We've got those to pass along. Unfortunately, Ron's play of the day scratched. We'll get to Doug's in a couple of seconds, but let's first of all touch on your plays of the day in here because you are the analyst for today, which means you get to go first.
All right, so I got Glinton Daddy's Eye as my best bet. We talked about that. I think maybe we could even use that horse as a key for the pick 5. Regal Moment, that's the Stu Simon horse. Yep, I'm all over that one, looking for improvement here today. Beat the Fave, I'll go with Proud Mischief, the Lauren Richards horse, and see, I'm putting up an exactor box. 4 and 8, just in case I got my bases covered. And then I'm looking for Scat Humor, the replay we just saw, to break her maiden here.
Now, if you're a boxer, would you be a southpaw or would you jab with the right?
Oh, I only jab with the right. That's all I got, buddy. And it's a good jab, but I only jab with the right.
So my long shot's not much of a long shot right now. It's 7-2. This being Red Pharaoh. My repeat threat is going to be Holiday Rose. I think they might have been taking a bit of an edge first time out with that one. My best bet, price is dead now on that one, as English Actor is going to be a really low price now in that spot. So my price play is Easter Sunday Girl coming up in race number 8. So let's see what Woodbine TV Prod's got. Regal Moment. He, she, or the AI machine agrees with us. Executive Search is the one that Doug's going to go to Ward. That's the Drexler horse, right? Yeah, second best behind Granger County. And let's see if Executive Search is able to capitalize here in race number 4. Now, the Clocker horse, I'm glad there is some positive news to pass along on this one because Swiftlet came over the other day, had 2 handlers, and let's just say he was more focused on the girls.
Well, let's just say he had 5 legs instead of 4.
Right.
That's another way to put it. And the girls, he was pulling, but he wasn't being that bad. He was. That's the perfect word, Jeff. That's the perfect word. Actually, another horse that we saw school that day, we're going to see in action, I think on Saturday, the Lisa McCallum Smith.
Yes.
Remember that one? And we said, what's that one's name?
Horse,
and she told us, and then I saw it in the program,
Saturday,
and I was like, that's a good looking horse.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that too. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one during the paddock proceedings and make sure that one's minding his manners.
I don't know. There's no girls in that race, is there?
No.
All right,
so
that's good.
We're going to go to a rewind here, and we're going to go back to a horse that was small but mighty. That is your clue.
Okay. Small but mighty, Northern Dancer.
Northern Dancer. Dominion Day. Trained by Kevin Attard.
We're not going that far back.
But
Don't
we're
look
not
at your
going to tell you
script.
what it is. We're going to roll it after the commercial break.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Woodbine Racing Live continues after this timeout.